Well, I could not have picked a worse time for that. Anywho, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I'm your host, Liz, and I'm as always joined by my co-host, Marcus.
Morcus?
Marcus. I had a good day today. Did you?
I had a pretty good day. This is a great episode. Probably one of the best NXT episodes we've gotten in a while. In a long time.
Which is saying a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fucking marathon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just every segment had something big, except all the Xia Li stuff. I had nothing big.
Yeah, man, I'm just want Xia to not be fighting Casey and Kayden.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere.
Because she's not going to have gone through this whole transformation just for her to become a face again. Because Casey and Kayden asked her to.
Right.
So, like, it just doesn't make sense, in my opinion.
But we got the women's tag titles. We got the next challenger for Io. We got the next challenger for Finn. And we got the tag challengers returning.
We've got a lot of shit going on tonight.
We also have the next challengers for the women's tag already.
Do we?
Yeah, Candice and Indy. Kind of how they were looking during their celebration.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, so do you want to start with the news? Because we've got a lot of shit to talk about tonight.
Alright. Sure.
And I'm going to probably go off on at least 41 different tangents.
Oh, great. If anything's about Chris Jericho or Rusev, you're going to go off.
Not about the news.
Oh, okay.
Saying about tonight's news, but thank you, kind soul that you are.
You're welcome.
Anyhow, ignore the man in the corner there. So we'll start with some AEW news. Apparently, there's rumors that another WWE person is going to AEW. I sort of doubt, but I'll buy into it for the time being. It's Chad Gable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Tony Khan did say that the signings aren't over yet. Like, he's still got more to reveal.
Right. Which we discussed last week. Or last Monday. But I guess, like, Chad said, wished Otis, or no. Otis wished Chad a happy birthday, on the 8th, when his birthday was. And Chad said, "You are my number one guy." And Dax, from FTR, said, "Wait, what's all this number one talk? I know you're not allowed to respond to me publicly for about 2 more months, but come on, man, he's your number one." Because Chad's contract goes up, I think, in a couple months, if not like 1 or 2.
Okay.
And at this point, I wouldn't be totally shocked.
I mean, I think everything's always like up in the air when it comes to like nearing contract being up. Because this might be the stage where he's thinking about going to other places, but it also might be the stage of Vince giving him like a title shot to lure him into staying.
Is he getting a title shot?
And maybe a tag title.
Yeah, maybe. Otis is a fearsome heel.
Like what they did with who am I thinking? Am I thinking of Cesaro? When his contract was ending, they gave him like a big moment.
No, well, when his contract was ending, there was rumors that he was going to turn face prior to them not really knowing what was happening with his contract.
Mm-hmm.
But that was when Shinsuke turned face because they were like, well, we're not going to start a whole new storyline for you if you might leave.
Right.
Anyways, I thought that was interesting. I definitely wouldn't be like blown out of the water if he was signed.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, honestly, the thing for me with like signings to AEW, especially when they're like WWE signings, I'm just like, who's it gonna be? Who have you poached this time?
Who are we not seeing again?
Just like, because I feel like seeing them in like that so and so is all elite picture, I'm always just like, what? It feels goofy, but like I do kind of love like seeing like people getting poached and them being like, well, Vince, had you not been crazy?
The only reason I wouldn't want to see Chad on AEW is just because I want to see how far his heel run can go. I want to see like where they take it.
Plus, I like seeing Otis as a heel.
Yeah.
I think that's unique.
Yeah, and if you get rid of Chad, because Otis doesn't really thrive on his own. He needs a tag partner. And if they get rid of Chad, who are they gonna have instead? Bring back Tucky? Oh man.
My heart is pained for that man.
Could bring in Drew Gulak. He'd be a good partner.
Or they could just, they could respect Drew Gulak as a wrestler.
Nah.
Yeah, no. It's
Ain't
a
gonna
pipe dream.
happen.
So just not a big news day, just some bits and bobs of WWE news. First of all, they have a new trademark that's kind of fucking strange. It is quite simply just the word, and I believe in all caps, symbiosis.
Symbiosis.
So, like, if the WWE thinks they're about to teach me Earth science again for, like, the third time, I think, I'm done. I'm out.
Did they also trademark the word convalescing?
The way they use it, they must have. They've trademarked symbiosis, symbiotic relationships, meiosis, mitosis.
Wait, did they really? Or are you just making that up?
No.
Okay.
I'm making that up. I was going off of my Earth science joke.
I was like, is this a new stable or something? That. Symbiosis?
It's just a bunch of 7th grade science teachers.
Symbiosis is when two things come together, right?
Symbiosis, I know like a symbiotic like relationship means that you both benefit from one another.
I'm looking this up. I feel like it's two things coming together.
There's like these animals in like the plains, in like the plains of Africa, that have these little birdies that sit on their back and like they clean them from bugs and shit. So like the animal stays clean and then the birdie gets food. Or the things that live in like underwater, like animals' teeth that like clean inside their mouths.
Mm-hmm. Symbiosis, interaction between two different organisms living in close physical association, typically to the advantage of both. So you are on the money with that scientifically.
I almost failed science 3 times.
Now, what if that's like a 4th brand they're introducing? Symbiosis. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Symbiosis.
I think some people are saying this points to Bray.
Oh, maybe.
Not sure how, but it's a weird word and he's a weird dude, so.
Oh, you know what? Oh. I can see how it relates to Bray. Because Alexa Bliss has been using herself to summon Bray and making herself like that valuable item you use to summon something. And probably it'll be like, you hurt Alexa, you hurt the Fiend. You know?
So Randy has to beat Alexa Bliss up.
Right. RKO Alexa Bliss into the moon.
Good job, WWE. Finally, you make a fucking good choice.
Or LA Knight, new tag team called Symbiosis. 2 dumb names going together.
Sure. Why not? God, I hate that man. Love him to death, but I hate him. So we had the the next Hall of Fame date confirmed and the first inductee announced. The first inductee is Molly Holly. Sorry, that was like really lame. First inductee is Molly Holly. I forgot what the name you said, and I had it like bookmarked.
Mighty Molly.
I was like just trying to scroll. And apparently the induction ceremony is going to take place on April 6th, the Tuesday before WrestleMania, which I think that's aired. So I think we'll be able to watch that, which will be fun.
And she was announced on the bump, and Shane Helms rather, was on the bump talking to Molly Holly, and he was announcing who the first inductee would be, and she didn't know, and he announced it to her and started crying. It was so sweet.
Oh, that's cute.
But a lot of people are saying that the person who should induct her, like who should announce her at the ceremony, is either Shane Helms or Beth Phoenix.
Oh, that would be cute.
Yeah.
Just to make it like a full like experience, what if we watched it and then did a podcast afterwards? So we can podcast Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. No. Oh no.
I quit.
Oh no. Oh, this is the worst news. Guys, I'm so sorry. So is that a yes?
No.
Okay, but it's not a no. Okay, cool.
No.
I'm very excited to do this. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun.
No.
Our final piece of news is God, not news anybody's really thrilled about. So a WWE producer was named head of talent relations. And that WWE producer is
Bruce Pritchard?
John Laurinaitis.
Ooh.
John Laurinaitis, who has been a producer, I think, since forever. Since 2004, I believe. And there's concern because he is... I'm trying to talk slow so I can open this fucking article.
Mm-hmm.
He was very insistent on keeping divas.
Oh.
Yeah, he was more of their eye candy kind of thing, as opposed to wrestlers. He left the role back in 2011. Was used on screen in 2012, and then he just left the company altogether. He's been working as a producer, but I don't know, man. Makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, I mean, What was he named head of talent relations?
Head of talent relations.
I mean, that might not have any like big effect on anything. It just might not be good for, if the women's wrestler has some issues with another wrestler.
Yeah.
He might not be the best correspondent for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Makes me a little nervous, but hopefully we don't notice any differences whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I have for today.
Cool. So, matches and promos.
Yeah, I feel like a kid after Christmas. I'm just like, I don't really want to talk about it now. I'm just waiting for the next one.
You want to show off your hoodie?
I've shown this off before. I've worn this on the podcast.
Because it means something today. You got an Adam
Cole
shirt.
baby. Boom.
No longer Undisputed Era, just Adam Cole.
Baby.
Baby. Alright, so we start right off with William Regal's announcements. First thing he did was play a little video package about TakeOver. And the announcement was that this would be the first ever two-night TakeOver. It'll be April 8th, I think, will be the second night. April 7th and 8th, is that it? 7th and 8th?
I keep taking my phone on and off the charger.
The 10th is WrestleMania, so 9th is that Friday for SmackDown, so 7th and 8th, that makes sense.
Yes, that does make sense. I'm not upset that this is happening because I mean, listen. If I can get more NXT, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to take more NXT any day of the fucking week you want to give it to me. It's just it's the implications. However, this does mean that we will be getting 3 NXT episodes technically in 1 week. Because Wednesday, Thursday, and Tuesday.
Oh.
1 week cycle. We will be starting our nightmare podcasting schedule on Wednesday, on an NXT day, and then ending it on an NXT day. But honestly, you can look at it this way. We're going to have a hellish schedule, and then we're going to have 2 days off. So.
Yeah. All right, so in addition to announcing that it was the first takeover ever, we got a name for the takeover, and I love that each of these takeovers gets like a name now. It's not just like takeover 30, takeover 31, takeover Atlanta. This is Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
It's like got a pirate theme, I think. Like a skull pirate go along with WrestleMania.
Doesn't Stand and Deliver kind of like have like army connotations, or am I crazy?
I don't think so. I think it's similar to what you're thinking, but I don't think it's directly like military.
Well, either way, I'm thrilled as hell about this.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, especially based on what was teased today. We got a lot of stuff teased, but
yeah, we got something actually that I'm not going to talk about right now, but obviously because it's 1 year thing to do, and 2, it's not right now. But we got something teased that makes me very hopeful for certain people.
All right, so the other announcement, he has all of the women from NXT out on the ramp, facing the ring. Everyone's out there. But he specifically calls up Raquel and Dakota to come up to the ring. And he said after the tragedy that was that women's tag team match last week, he's going to be giving a gift to Dakota and Raquel. And on the table behind him is a little sheet covering something. He reveals it, and it's the Women's NXT Tag Team Championships, which he gives to Dakota and Raquel to be the first NXT Women's Tag Team champions. And then Dakota and Raquel have the mics. Dakota said, everyone on the roster is very talented. You're all great. And we beat all of you.
That's a way to gloat. It's a good one.
And then Ember and Shotzi walk down the ramp and personally congratulate them. But then that Ember and Shotzi specifically say, you all beat everyone on your side of the bracket, but we beat everyone on our side of the bracket. So, in short, Ember and Shotzi challenged Dakota and Raquel for the tag team titles later this evening. And then, right after that... Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say that it's so incredible to me that NXT is constantly just setting the bar higher and higher for the women. Like, for women's rosters across the board, regardless of promotion. It is so incredible to me. And it makes me so happy to watch this shit. Because it's like, damn, somebody respects us. That's pretty sick.
A lot of people don't like the addition of this title, though. Because it defeats the purpose of making the women's tag title cross-brand. But at the same time, they've constantly been neglecting NXT as the third brand on the main roster. I mean, think of Bianca's decision. Io wasn't mentioned once.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way Shawn Michaels put it actually is probably the best way to put it, which is they don't need it. They don't need this title. But it's important that they have it, you know?
Right.
I think at this point, gratuitously acknowledging your women's roster's talent is exactly what needs to be happening. And that's the thing that AEW runs into all the time as far as problems. That's the thing that Raw runs into all the time. The thing that SmackDown used to run into all the time and has slowly worked their way back up from being SmackDown karaoke to the shit that they are today, which is pretty fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But it's just so awesome to see it. It makes me so happy. And it makes me so proud that I'm watching NXT. Because even as a WWE fan, I'm disappointed 9 times out of 10.
Right.
But
if only Riot Squad can get some wins.
Yeah, I'm more on the Natty and Tamina train now.
But
sorry.
We go right into the NXT Women's Championship match between Io Shirai and Toni Storm. Liz, would you like to walk us through this match?
I suppose I would. So Toni fakes Io out and hits her, and then it's just kind of a fucking slugfest. Toni sends Io out of the ring. She goes to slide out onto her, but is met with a fist to the face. There's some chops to Toni and a failed kick to Io. Io follows that up with a drop kick to Toni, and then throws her into the abdominal stretch, ending that with a fist to the spine after quite some time. Io then spears Toni through the ropes. Toni rips Io off the apron down to the ringside area and then throws Io into the steps. Which, when she ripped her off of the apron, I very much sat there and I was like, oh. Because it looked like the lower part of her face hit it, and I was like, oh boy, we're starting early with this shit, aren't we? We get a snap suplex to Io and a backbreaker. Io hits Toni with some forearms and a face buster, finally a 619 and a drop kick. Then she does her fucking double stomp that goes like through Toni in the nastiest fucking way. We go up top. Toni stops Io by hitting her in the face, and then we chill out on the ropes for a bit until we finish with a superplex from Toni to Io. There's a German suplex and a bridge to Io, as well as Storm clotheslining Io. She runs at her. Io bridges to avoid it, but that doesn't save her from the drop elbow from Toni. Io is then almost the victim. of a driver on the apron, but she turns it around into a back body drop with Miss Toni Storm. We get a massive moonsault onto Toni. Io goes up top. But Toni grabs her, brings her down with a power bomb. Io still manages to get up. She comes through with the hits. She takes Toni down into a crossface. She attempts the over the moonsault, but she lands flat on her stomach. Toni's rolled away at this point. Toni hits her with the Storm Zero. Goes up top for a headbutt off the top rope, but Io dodges that, and Toni lands right on her stomach. Io throws her right into the crossface after she lands, and Toni taps out.
Yeah. How'd you feel about this ending?
I didn't mind it. I think Toni needed to be put in her place of it, because Toni was like saying all this shit, and Io basically was just like, and now you can stop.
Well, she made points though. She did make points about how like,
Did she?
yeah, because Io said like, I'll take you anytime, anywhere. And then Toni was like, well, why haven't you talked to Regal yet? You know? I really liked when they had that little promo after, I think it was her match with Mercedes. Something like that. But actually, I'm on one of the post threads for AEW right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like their whole explanation for the end of the pay-per-view.
Okay.
And one of the things that, because they had Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston in like a room explaining things, they said that Impact paid for the bomb. And then apparently Eddie Kingston gave this great explanation for why he like pretended to be dead. He used the excuse that he suffers from PTSD, and it was kind of just his trauma instinct was just to lie there.
Okay.
I think that was like the literally the best way they could have gone about it.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, that was probably the ideal way.
But anyway, back to NXT. We had a little promo with Finn Balor. He said basically that it's just Finn and Adam face to face this time. No Kyle, no Roddy, just them. We then had an interview with LA Knight. He said it's not going to be LA Knight's in-ring debut. Everyone thought it would be, but no, that's just a fact of life. But it might be next week. And then Bronson Reed attacks LA Knight. And that's just a fact of life. You idiot.
What are you talking about?
It's how he talks. It's how he talks. I'm LA Knight. And that's just a fact of life. That's his catchphrase.
J. Jonah Jameson.
I'm not the best with impressions. I try my best though.
To be fair, I would never be able to like differentiate LA Knight from another person, so that's totally fair.
But then we have Jake Atlas versus Pete Dunne as our next match. Was.
Yes. All right. So yeah, weirdly enough, Jake Atlas, Pete Dunne, don't really know why we got this fight at all. But anyways. So Pete takes control of Jake's wrists, begins kind of twisting it around. We get a second lockup after that first one initially, which leads to Pete having full control on Atlas's arm and hand. Jake tries to be like fancy about it, trying to get free. Doesn't work. Jake finally hits the arm drag after wiggling a little bit of space between him and Pete, and is thrown right into a fucking headlock. We then get a nasty fucking Hurricane Rana 2 done off the ropes with the arm drag to Dunne. He goes for a head scissors, but is caught by Mr. Pete and kicked in the hamstring. Pete sets to breaking Jake's arm again, as well as a nasty fucking elbow stomp. He then slaps Atlas in the face. He kicks him a second time. He kicks him after a second slap. Jake tries to hit the Jake tries to hit a moonsault, but goes right into a head scissors submission hold on Pete. There's a German suplex that connects entirely. And then a kick and a moonsault. Jake goes for the cartwheel DDT, but it does not work. And Dunne does what Dunne does best, which is very difficult to say very fast, which is he snaps Atlas's fingers and then falls back with Atlas's arm, and Jake Atlas taps the fuck out.
Yeah, I think Atlas looked great in this match. This was a good match to kind of get him in a higher card. Which I think they were kind of doing here. Because they wouldn't change his walkout and his gear if they weren't kind of getting him ready for something bigger.
They've been experimenting with Jake Atlas walkouts.
Have they?
He's had a couple recently. Yeah.
Huh.
This is, I think, his third since the one that made no sense.
Okay. But after the match ended, we had Pete talking in the ring. He goes on a tangent about how he's the best technical wrestler in the world, and he dares someone to try and prove him wrong. Now, you had an idea of who might challenge that. I thought it would be Timothy Thatcher. Who did you think?
Who did I think?
I don't know. Because I said Timothy Thatcher. You said no.
Let me think of all the men that exist in this world right now.
I mean, maybe Oni Lorcan?
No. I know you suggested that Pat might be coming back soon, but that was not part of it.
Yeah, that was not. This would have been a good time, but
I don't even remember you saying Tim Thatcher would challenge him, honestly.
Yeah, I said that the one that would feel offended by this would be Thatcher, but he's preoccupied with the Imperium storyline. He's obviously like calling somebody out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I get it now. No, I thought that Imperium was going to come out.
Oh.
Only because of Oni and Danny. But that does lead to something, because if Marcel's whole thing is getting Tim back with them, then I have to imagine there's a reason for that.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Pete, at maybe like TakeOver, we get Pete versus Thatcher. We get Oni and Danny versus Marcel and Fabian.
Or just a three-way. Or a six-man tag.
I think a six-man tag would be like the episode before, and then because it's a 2-day TakeOver, they might split it up.
Maybe. I'd be hot as hell, though. I'd be like so down for that.
And we'll probably get...
Because I think the whole...
I just thought we get the tag match at TakeOver. Bobby and Marcel take the titles off of Oni and Danny, and then we get MSK versus Fabian and Marcel.
Maybe. I just think that because it seems like Marcel's whole plan is to beef up Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still mad that they offered Tommaso. Oh, we'll talk about it later. But I think that's his plan, and I think that the plan has to have a reasoning. So
I think they just plan on dominating the entire brand.
Which, what's the point of dominating if you're not going after the titles?
Which they will. Obviously, Walter's going to go after the NXT title. I
think Teoman's going to take the title off of Walter, and then Walter will come over.
You don't think you'd want to have both?
I just don't see a reason for both at this point.
Or, maybe he could have both, like, at the TakeOver for a big TakeOver moment. and then have the UK title taken off of him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I'm only just saying, like, I don't see how it's acceptable for Walter to have, like, it's one thing, like, when, like, a title moves from one brand to another.
Mm-hmm.
But if they take the NXT UK title to America, where he drops it, even if it's to another British person, kind of defeats the purpose of the NXT UK title altogether.
Like it,
unless you want to have people commuting back and forth from England to America constantly.
I mean, they've done that. They did that with Pete Dunne when he was the UK champion.
Right, but did Pete win it at NXT UK and then drop it at NXT UK?
I think so.
Yeah, see, that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that it doesn't make sense for it to be like this big NXT spectacle when it doesn't belong on NXT. It's not fair to NXT UK.
Well, no. I'm not saying he loses the UK title at NXT. I'm saying he gets the NXT championship at. Well, he probably won't get it at TakeOver, but he'll probably go for it at TakeOver, and then go back to UK, lose it.
Judging by what happened tonight, I really do not think that Walter is going to be going after the title in any respect. Unless what happened tonight has a quicker process, or it has a quicker processing flow than it looks like it's going to have.
I think it could lead to a triple threat.
I don't see a triple threat being a respectable way of doing, and this is just my opinion, but I don't see a triple threat as a respectable way to do a main event for a title. Like, I need a main event with a title to be like two people just slugging it out.
But I think nothing sets Karrion up to be the next champion, like a dominant champion, than beating Walter, but not just Walter, Finn Balor, the greatest NXT champion of all time.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. I think if Walter comes over here, it's going to be storyline motivated completely. It's not going to have anything to do with the title.
Okay. We'll
not
see.
Immediately, at least.
We'll see. But after that, we have a little promo with Imperium. Speak of the devil. They talk about Thatcher. Specifically, Marcel says they made something really special a long time ago, and he invites Thatcher to come join Imperium. And he says, if your partner wants to too, he can. Invitation's open to him. You see, you don't like this. You don't like that Ciampa being invited. But
yeah, no, I don't.
I do, because it's like, because the whole theme with Imperium coming over is that they're trying to like expand and grow, but they're not trying to do it by force. They're like talking to Killian, trying to like, be nice, bring up good times. Same with Thatcher. And they're trying to be nice to Ciampa too. But we all know Ciampa's not gonna, as we see later on.
Right. Listen, that did not mar this promo for me in any way. In fact, when Marcel said we had something beautiful, and I said, I want to know all the ways we're going to talk about ring comp without talking about ring comp, because I'm excited, to say the least. But I don't know, man. This has made me more excited for NXT than I have been. And that's saying a lot, because every Wednesday I'm just like, it's NXT day!
But I think we're going to get like a big stable versus stable before TakeOver. I think maybe at TakeOver, but I think Pat McAfee will be... Imagine Pat McAfee versus Walter.
I'll die.
It'll probably be Pat versus Wolf, though.
I just think that, like, honestly, something I can kind of see happening is, like, Marcel gets Tim to come over to Imperium, and then Walter comes over afterwards and is like, oh, hey, do you not remember talking shit about me? Because you did, sort of, in the way that Tim can. Because they kind of had, like, a cloudy past. They've had a couple of reunitings. And so, I mean, like, you can make it a face, but, like, I've seen it. So
Right.
I feel like...
No. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't think it's going to play out the way you think it will. I think Walter's going to be, because they've kind of been making him out to be like this mob boss kind of guy, I think he's just going to be like, yeah, you're one of my guys now. See where all this led?
Think of it this way. Tim is like their Tony Blendetto. Right? Or like Tony's like, I love you, but do I love you? See?
Yeah. I'm excited for these stable wars we have coming, though. I'm excited. Maybe we'll get another NXT UK takeover. That'd be pretty cool. But after that, we have a little promo with Leon Ruff. He's calling out Swerve. He said it wasn't luck when he beat Swerve. And he's challenging Swerve to another match next week. Simple as that. And then we move into the first NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Raquel Gonzalez. And I think everyone can see the outcome of this match based on the graphic that I have that now includes Shotzi and Ember.
Yes. So, what a strange match. What a strange match we had today. Not sure how I feel about it, but...
Oh, I liked it. I really liked this.
I've got my problems. I'll talk about my problems when we get to my problems. So Ember charges in immediately. She's up against Raquel. She just takes her the fuck out, pretty much. Just slams her into the corner. Dakota tags in right away. We get an overhead kick to Ember. Shotzi gets in. Shotzi shoves Dakota, pulls her away from the ropes, slamming her back first in the ground, and goes for the cloverleaf, which I don't actually know if her pulling Dakota all the way to the ground with the force she had was intentional. Only because Dakota's reaction of screaming, ow, was very unlike her. But she locks in the cloverleaf. Dakota finally grabs the rope after several agonizing minutes. Both women go to kick each other and then knock each other basically on their asses, which leads to Raquel and Shotzi getting in. We get a huge clothesline to Shotzi and then a massive double stomp to Shotzi from Dakota. That just... oh. My chest fucking hurt afterwards. This brings Shotzi right into a body scissor submission hold. Once Shotzi breaks free of that, she is the recipient of a pump kick. Dakota then almost hits... sorry, I forgot to mention that Dakota's the legal person here. But Dakota almost hits Raquel after running at Shotzi, and Raquel just like looks like, okay, don't do that. We get a step up and security to Shotzi, to Dakota. That is what I meant. To Dakota. Step up and security to Dakota. Ember Moon gets in. She takes Raquel off the apron, clotheslines the shit out of fucking Dakota. We get a spinebuster and a massive senton. She stomps Dakota backwards, like shoves her backwards. Just in like the nastiest fucking way. We get a fireman's carry takeover and a drop kick from Ember again to Dakota. And then another... Raquel comes in to interfere. We get a jawbreaker on Raquel, who finally just pulls Dakota out altogether. Shotzi then dives out onto Raquel, Ember gets Dakota back in the ring. There's a kick to the face of Ember, and Raquel gets in. Raquel and Dakota do their team offense of the torture rack into a kick in the chest from Miss Dakota. Raquel then bends Ember over her shoulder before flipping her down to the canvas like a little pancake. It was just incredible. Shotzi broke the cover. Dakota got in off of that. They attempt the team offense, but it fails. This gets Shotzi back in. We get a drop kick off the ropes to both of the ladies from Shotzi, and then head scissors to Raquel, bulldog to Dakota, a pump knee strike under the jaw, and a forearm and a kick combination to Dakota, and then a belly-to-back suplex to Dakota. Raquel and Dakota got their asses handed to them, is what I'm getting at. Ember holds Dakota while Shotzi sentons onto her. We get a DDT to Miss Kai, and then Ember is in. Both Shotzi and Ember hook Dakota's legs with their own and flip her backwards somehow. Using move. Raquel gets in after this, and we get a jawbreaker to Raquel from Shotzi, and a failure of an eclipse because Raquel catches her. Raquel goes for the powerbomb, but Ember fights out of it, so Raquel hangs her over the ropes. Dakota comes in and runs into Raquel somehow, sending her from the ring, and then Shotzi rolls Dakota up to win. My problem here is just that I wish Raquel and Dakota got to hold on to the titles for longer. It doesn't make sense that they got them for like an hour.
Right. But where this goes, it's like Bobby Lashley losing the United States Championship. Like, yeah, it sucks, but think about where it's going. Raquel is 100% taking that off of Io. Like, there's no doubt she is the winner.
But why can't she be the tag team champ and the women's champ?
Diversify the, like, give more matches per takeover.
I understand that. I do just wish that, like, they waited, like, a week, because I don't really see that happening. I don't see Io losing that belt until TakeOver. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we could have waited, like, 1 week.
Right.
Just one. We could have had a DQ in this match because, like, somebody comes in, or we could have had a DQ because Raquel gets too, like, angry, and then, I don't know. But we could have had a DQ. They could have rematched next week, and then they could have lost it.
I think they also wanted a big celebration, and you couldn't have a big celebration when you have two heel champions. So they gave Ember and Shotzi the titles so that they could have everyone celebrate backstage.
Still sucks eggs.
And it does bring in...
I do think that...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I do think that the one thing that we can get from this is that it sort of feels like it's a trade-off where they were like, hey, you guys are going to be the first to get the belts, but you have to drop it for our sake. Mm-hmm. But we're going to give Raquel a chance at the women's title. The only problem there is that Dakota gets the short end of the stick no matter what.
I don't know. I think I think she might get something great out of Raquel getting the championship. I don't know. I can see some good stuff happening from that. But having Ember and Shotzi as the champs brings in challengers with a lot more personality, and that's Indy and Candice. Jumpy again?
Fucking cat, dude. She just sneezed in my ear.
Wow, the cat's tall.
Felt like she was.
So after that match, we had a little promo with Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, idiot.
He said he reminded those chumps who their leader is. He got rid of the dead weight in Undisputed Era. And
he meant Bobby.
I think we're just implying that Bobby was kicked out. I think we're just implying that.
When he says Roddy and Kyle, he's not talking about the dead weight. The dead weight was Bobby. I don't know what he did to him, but we're never gonna know. Go to the Pine Barrens and maybe you'll find out. He's from Pennsylvania. He would know where that is.
Yeah. He said, Finn says he's the greatest NXT champion of all time. That's not true. I am the greatest NXT champion ever. And then after that, we get Shotzi and Ember celebrating their tag team win backstage with all the women of NXT. And then Candice and Indy are watching from the sidelines, kind of all annoyed. They walk away and meet up with Johnny. I really like the transition between these two things. I thought it was really cool. Candice and Indy just walk back and meet up with Johnny. Austin also walks in too. He said, I can't believe you paid off the therapist. Is that true? Johnny's like, yeah, therapy isn't free. It was so good. It's playing with Austin's stupidity so well. I love it. Oh man.
Mad.
But he's so mad about what the therapist said. He's so mad, and Johnny like leans into it, really says like, "Oh, get Dexter, just get him. He doesn't like your adequate, your mediocre mid body region. He doesn't like it. He thinks it's adequate." Austin said he wants to rip off Dexter Loomis's head, tears off his shirt, and starts walking away. And Candice and Indy try and go catch up to him. But Johnny's really, really happy of Austin's fury. And then to, take a dive for the next two things, we have Kayden Carter versus Xia Li. Because we all need to have our low points in the show.
Yep. And I think I took more notes than I should have for this. Kayden takes Xia down. Xia then takes no time returning that favor. Creates some forearms to Xia and then a short scissor kick to the jaw of Xia. Xia sends a boot to the knee of Kayden, and then Casey shows up. And Casey's got her little crutches and her little pygmy voice, and sorry, that's mean to pygmies. Her little helium air voice, which might also be mean to helium air, but whatever. Xia throws Kayden into the buckles, stomps her on the apron for a bit before Casey hits her with a crutch. DQ. Casey somehow manages to get into the ring, even though she is actually genuinely injured. And I said, that's actually somewhat impressive, you fucking weirdo. And then Boa comes through. Boa grabs the crutch from Casey and then snaps it in half. And then Kayden comes in with the other crutch and it's Boa in the back with it.
Yep. Also, I've been kind of catching up on AEW a little bit, reading through like feeds and stuff. Apparently Christian might be next in line to challenge Kenny Omega for the title. I think that's where they're going with it. Get a big face-off against Kenny in the show today.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
But people are saying that it's kind of just a transition so that Pac can finish things up with Death Triangle and Rey Fenix, so that he will then challenge Kenny for the AEW Championship. So after that match with Kayden and Xia, we have a promo with Jordan Devlin. He's shooting on his iPhone, seems like, at an airport. He hints at being on the takeover card. He said his travel ban exception just got lifted, and he will be at NXT next week to find out who the real cruiserweight champion is. And I can't wait to root for Santos in that match. We then have a little vignette with Zoe Stark.
Oh wait. This is what I was talking about. That wasn't.
What?
You were just... I think I just got myself confused.
Talking about the Jordan Devlin promo?
Yeah, I thought that they were intertwined together. One piece.
Wait, what was intertwined with it?
I thought that the Jordan Devlin promo was intertwined with the Legado one, or Santos's.
Oh, no, because they had the Zoe Stark thing in between.
Which, mind you, at first, before I realized where we were in the Santos promo, I thought we were in like a parking lot, like in the dark side of like the parking lot, because it was so dark. And then all of a sudden the camera turns and we're like just by the stage. And I was like, Jesus Christ! Gotta warn a girl.
But we have the vignette with Zoe Stark kind of introducing us to her from a character perspective, showing us how strong she is, where she came up from, all that jazz. But then we have Santos Escobar and Regal backstage. It's weird because you can hear Santos very clearly, but you cannot hear anything Regal's saying. But Santos is just going off about how he's the real champion. And he's probably going to show it at TakeOver. I hope Santos wins. I really do. But then Wild and Mendoza come out and they're like, they're playing our music. We should go. And Santos is like, no. I got to finish things up with Regal. You guys go out there. Make me proud. Put a good name with the Legado.
Regal was probably just like, you can go. You can leave. I don't care.
Because he was
Poor
just
Regal.
like,
Dude he's got a thing against Santos, and I feel bad for Santos sometimes now.
because Santos doesn't leave him alone.
I know. Regal's just like, sir, please, I'm trying to do my job. But anyways, so the Jordan Devlin promo gave me some hope for the future, but also for, weirdly enough, the Jordan Devlin promo gave me some hope. Let's start there. But it gave me some hope because I hear down from there. I'm thinking maybe this means that we're gonna get more inter NXT fighting.
Yeah.
And that excites me because that might mean, now while I don't think Walter and Finn is going to happen, there's a lot of stuff that could mean. And a lot of stuff that I'm really excited for. Also, I think it just gives me hope because it's like, oh wow, nature is healing. The world is returning it to as it once was.
Yeah. If you don't also think that Walter might challenge Finn, maybe Alexander Wolf will.
The only reason I don't think that'll... I think that they're going to save the next title challenge for TakeOver. That's the only reason why I don't think that'll happen that way. Just because we're so close.
Right.
But with that said, Jordan Devlin did not recognize him until he turned to face the camera because he didn't have his orange spray tan on, and I did not feel bad for one singular second.
He also had a hat on too.
I guess maybe that did also affect it, but it was like, you and I were both sitting there like, what the fuck is this? At first my brain was like, why does he look like Brian Cage, but not like Brian Cage at all?
I was like,
and why does he have an accent?
I was like, Bo Dallas looks really weird.
Bo Dallas got plastic surgery up the wazoo.
Lost a lot of weight.
For a whole second, I thought it was like some NXT UK signing that was like coming over here, and I was like, this seems a bit early and forward. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
I fucking heard it again.
Oh, I didn't. But we then move on to Legado del Fantasma versus grizzled young veterans, soon to be recognized.
I also want to point out that this noise happened the last two times. One segment before we got to the final match.
It also coincides with Liz being very jumpy.
Not jumpy.
Liz, you jumped when the cat sneezed, and you jumped when you heard the noise.
She sneaks on me. The cat sneaks up on me. She thinks it's funny.
All right, Liz, would you have to jump into the match whenever you're done applying lip gloss?
I guess. The only thing that calms me down. Anyways. So we have Mendoza versus Gibson to start. We get a belly to back to Mendoza. Drake gets in. We get a head scissors onto Drake and then a kick to Mr. Gibson. Mendoza drops Wild into Gibson with a drop kick. And then we get the Breezango walkout that we got last week. But not really, because it's not Breezango. Before we find out who it is, Mr. James Drake takes advantage with a step-up enziguri onto Wild. And that's when we realize, oh, it's the two idiots, MSK, my sweet, sweet dum-dums. They take off their helmet. They're having the time of their life. And now James Drake and Gibson are distracted because they're like, oh, shit, we kind of broke his hand, didn't we? That doesn't bode well for us. So the Legado takes advantage of that distraction and rolls up James Drake. They win. MSK takes their space helmets that they were wearing and just, I think Nash Carter shoves the helmet into Gibson's crotch, and then Wesley just calmly stands there and smashes the helmet over his fingers that are now on the steel steps. And then Breezango come in and attack Legado. And finally, at the end of all of it, we have Breezango and MSK standing in the middle of the rings. Dumbasses respecting dumbasses. I love that for them. Also, Tyler Breeze came out with a cute little white sweater and some cute little shorts and some cute little boat shoes because he's the ultimate prep. It makes me gag. I love him.
And
he makes me
Fandango came out shirtless with jeans.
And like these nice boots too. I don't know if you noticed that, but I was just like, Fandango's the one who still does wear the bell bottoms and used to salsa. Actually, to be fair, he was like probably like the ultimate like early 2000s macho dude because like he used to like tango with all these women.
And his name is Fandango.
That just kind of gives me like not straight vibes.
Fabian vibes.
Yeah, sure. Which Fabian gives me straighter vibes than Fandango.
And then to end it, Fandango takes the astronaut helmet and puts it on whose head was it? Nash's?
Yes, Nash's.
But after that, we had a little backstage promo with Raquel and Dakota Kai. They're so mad about losing their titles that they had for like 15 minutes. But then Io walks in. Io walks up to Raquel and says, "You're next." Or she said, "I want you next."
Yes.
Io, you're signing your death warrant. I like this though. I can't wait for this match.
I'm excited, but I do worry a little bit because without Rhea, I don't know who would be a strong competitor against Raquel.
Ember.
For the title. Do you think so? Okay, that's fair.
Ember solo. We saw some of Shotzi. Zoe Stark.
What the fuck am I thinking?
Um,
You got points.
maybe they'll try Xia Li too.
Maybe. Just got
But
the endurance.
we then have an interview with Timothy Thatcher. There's more of an interview with Tommaso Ciampa.
Liquor.
Who was it? Mackenzie asked Thatcher what he's thinking about Imperium's offer. Ciampa walks in and says he's not interested. Ciampa says he's more interested in the general that sits across the sea and manipulates all the puppet strings, aka Walter. And he said that he's challenging him, and Thatcher are challenging Imperium next week, which I think we all know how this is going to go down. Thatcher's going to betray Ciampa, side with Imperium. Now where this goes from here, because Ciampa called out Walter, I know you disagree. I think it's going to be Ciampa versus Walter at TakeOver.
I think I only disagree because I'd be like disappointed as shit.
I mean, you would be disappointed because you don't like Ciampa. I would like it because I know it would be a fun match to watch.
No, I don't agree.
Okay. All right.
I just think that it's going to be Walter versus Tim. I see it. Because then it's all about respect. And then Tim is a member of Imperium. And I sit back, I smoke my cigar, and I say, "You're welcome, world. But I did this for you."
If it took that to get into Imperium, why would they be inviting him in the first place?
No, Marcel's inviting him without the blessing of Walter, I think.
Well, Fabian is too. And I guess technically Wolf, because he's with them too.
Right. And I think Walter's going to come back and be like, "You guys just let anyone in nowadays, huh?" And Marcel's going to be like, "But don't you remember Ring Comp?" And Walter's going to be like, "Not really. I was fighting everyone every day. A lot happened."
I think Walter's sending them there specifically on this mission. I don't think it's gonna lead to Walter versus Thatcher because, you know, they're both kind of the same side of the coin. At least now. I think Ciampa versus Walter would have more for Ciampa to fight for.
Like what?
Like them taking the guy who he thought was his friend.
Oh, stop being a bootlicker. Maybe you'll have more friends. Pretty simple.
All right. Well, anyway, after that we have the main event. Adam Cole. Boom, baby. I almost did this like what Finn did. Adam Cole, baby, versus Finn Balor. Phineas. Balor.
All right. We get a shoulder tackle to Cole. And then another to Finn. We get a headlock on Cole. And some elbow strikes to Finn, but Cole's then smacked around with a drop kick. Some more forearms. Cole drives Finn into the barricade. And then Finn is Irish whipped into the corner, and Finn hits Adam Cole with a nasty fucking drop kick. Not like the worst drop kick tonight, even, which is pretty impressive because this was kind of cruel. We get some strike after strike on Cole, and then a hard chop. We get a knee breaker to Cole, and then a stomp. But Cole manages the enziguri on Finn. We get a hard elbow drop into Cole's chest, and I think as he was going for the 1916, but then decided to do something else. And then a knee strike to Adam as he's like writhing by the apron. This results in a high kick to the face of Finn after Adam rolls off the apron into the ringside area. Then we get probably the first awful thing that we saw, which was a suplex off of the apron onto the metal ramp.
Finn specifically walked backwards to make sure he slammed Cole into that ramp.
Mean man. They start exchanging some chops before there's a pump kick to Finn and a Pele kick to Cole. Balor goes for the 1916 and Cole turns it into a brainbuster on his knee. Cole wants that Panama Sunrise but gets caught by a sling blade and then maybe the nastiest dropkick. I have never seen somebody get hit by a dropkick so hard that I sat back. I was like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
It was vile. Finn goes for the coup de grace, but Adam moves out of the way. He gets a super kick to the jaw. We then get a crossface on Balor, who can't tap out, or can't grab the ropes to get out either. Balor tries to reverse, but Cole turns it back into a crossface again. Cole then stomps on Finn for a little bit, and Finn becomes fucking feral. It's nasty fucking clotheslines onto Cole. He hoists Adam up again for the 1916, but Adam goes up and over and lands on his feet. Smacks Cole in the jaw with the shiny wizard. Cole goes up top. We get the Panama Sunrise to Mr. Balor, and then Balor throws Cole out of the ring. Adam Cole has his little face resting on the barricade when his eyes get all wide. And for what reason? Oh, only the fact that Mr. Kyle O'Reilly is back. And Kyle O'Reilly is mad.
So mad.
He's very mad. Finn takes advantage of this.
He's got his whole rocker look going.
He's such a cutie. Finn goes out of the air. Takes advantage of the moment. Goes out of the air onto Adam. And then we get the successful 1916. Successful double stomp that looks like it probably broke at least 3 of Adam's ribs. And then Finn wins the match. And Kyle says, but the real victory is mine. He takes Adam's sweatband, his Undisputed Era sweatband off of his arm. Throws it. Adam Cole tries to do a low blow. And Kyle just unloads. I mean, Kyle loses his fucking shit. Kyle throws the Tangerine referee, Drake QAnon.
Kyle actually caught the low blow and then took the sweatband off.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. My bad. But anyways, that was bananas. Bananas is what I would say. That's what I would use to describe this moment.
And you're also forgetting one big thing that happened at the end.
I figured you would remember more of it than I would.
So Finn, after Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, or Adam Cole runs off and Kyle O'Reilly chases after him, Finn is left standing in the ring with the title. I loved how this was done. We see him just standing there, looking at the title, all proud and happy, especially now that he's out of that toxic situation. And we start to pan over. We see Karrion Kross standing there. And then Finn just says, "What took you so long?" And I think we know our takeover main event. So it's either one-on-one between these two or a triple threat, including Walter in the situation. I know you're leaning more towards the singles, but I think I'm leaning towards the triple threat. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I'm leaning towards the singles. Because I think Ciampa and Walter are gonna fight. Yeah. I think based on what we were given today, we have got an insane takeover card.
And the thing is, it's not even just an insane takeover card. We got an insane next Wednesday card.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already got, what do we have next week?
Swerve
So we've got
and
Dexter
Leon
and
Ruff.
Theory. Swerve and Leon Ruff, which Leon seems pissed, so that's gonna be fun. We have
Imperium versus Ciampa and Thatcher.
that's not confirmed yet.
No, it is, because they did like the graphic for it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So that's happening. Thank God. I mean, I think I still don't agree with you about Walter and Tommaso. Unless Walter comes next week, which I sort of doubt, I don't agree with you on that.
He's gonna come sometime before TakeOver.
I'm not gonna say no thank you. But I don't know, man. I'm not a big Karrion fan. But like that's gonna be a fucking match and a half.
It will
I
be.
think Finn better get that jaw wired extra tight, just in case.
Karrion better get everything wired tight because both have been injured right after their championship wins.
Karrion's got to get those shoulders just latched in there.
Yeah. I think seeing Karrion win again will be awesome. I think winning against Finn will be a bigger accolade than winning against Keith.
If he does win, yeah.
He's definitely going to. Because getting Karrion the title back was definitely the plan. I think him versus Santos was to kind of bring him back into a more main card.
I thought you meant Finn getting the title.
Oh, no.
Holding the title.
Karrion is 100% winning.
But then what do we do with Adam and fucking Kyle? I always want to call him Pete, by the way. He looks like a Pete to me. I know that we've been watching this for almost a year now, but for some reason, every time I see Kyle, I'm just like, Pete, my favorite boy.
Well, now that we don't have the title in the mix, it's all about passion and love. One person is definitely going to the main roster. 100%.
I love the concept of NXT once again taking something that Raw or SmackDown has done and doing it better. Because this feels almost exactly like what was supposed to happen with Drew and Sheamus, where we were supposed to get like this. Oh, look at that! But we were supposed to kind of get like Drew and Sheamus are fighting because of the title, and then the title's taken out of the picture. And now it's just because of hurt feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not getting any of the real drama with that, so it's boring as fuck. Whereas I feel like Kyle and Adam have already hurt my feelings enough.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I'm excited. I can't wait. But we have a best of the night to get to. Yeah, there's a sign for it. Now
The sign's not up.
I was gonna say I know what I'm gonna pick for a match tonight, but I don't know what I'm gonna pick for promo.
No, I don't know what I'm gonna pick for match. I think I'm gonna need your words.
Okay.
Convince me. I never really have too much of an opinion either until NXT comes on, and then I'm like, I'll die by my choices. All right. Best of the night.
All right, so we started off with William Regal making the announcements. This was a great promo that not only brought in two announcements that we already knew about and still hyped them up, but gave us some good storyline coverage with Ember and Shotzi challenging Dakota and Raquel.
With the title belts, even though I knew that was happening, I'll say, pretty much predicted it last week. I'm just gonna say that now.
I think everyone did.
I know a lot of people did. I still feel good about myself, please. But even though I knew that was happening, when it's like when they started getting into it and they called Dakota and Raquel down, I was like, With your best shot. It made me so happy.
But yeah, that was a great way to start the show. And also William Regal is fantastic at his job, just in general. We then have a promo with Finn Balor, which was whatever. We had the LA Knight interview, which was it was fine, and that's just a fact of life. Then we had a promo with Imperium. Gave us a little more, basically confirmed what everyone was saying. We then had the Leon Ruff promo, which was okay. Nice to see a good old passion Leon Ruff, and Leon Ruff that's actually in a story and not just used as a jobber or as a surprise champion. I was worried when they took the championship.
Sunshine.
Yeah, I was worried when they took the championship away from him that they would bring him back to being a jobber. Basically just use him for like comedy and shock factor, and that was it. But I'm glad we're actually seeing an actual story.
I mean, every time we see him in like a new storyline or something, I'm always taken back to how he said, like, I thought they were like messing with me when they said I was gonna win the title. So like now anytime that like I don't see him on air for like a week or something, I'm just like, Triple H, I will personally come down and see you. Where is my son?
Then we had the Adam Cole promo. It was, it was Adam Cole. Then we had Shotzi and Ember celebrating, leading into Candice and Indy, Johnny, and Austin. That was fun. I love the transition between the two sections of the promo. The joke, the goddamn joke with paying off the therapist, and then Johnny saying therapists aren't free. That was so good. That was so good.
It was good, but it makes me mad that it was good because I fucking hate Austin Theory. Like, grinds my fucking gears.
Honestly, if they keep just making him a moron, fine. Keep making him a moron. Make him the butt of all the jokes, whatever.
Oh, I just want to say, I have $80 to my name, and I finally bought the Timothy Thatcher shirt. I was gonna buy an Undisputed Era shirt, and then I was like, nah. I don't trust those men. I don't know what's going on there.
You're not gonna buy an MSK shirt? Wow, how could you?
Do they have good merch?
I told you they had new merch. It looks like it's pretty cool. But while you look at that,
shit was half off.
We have a little promo with Jordan Devlin. That was interesting. It gave us some interesting stuff to look forward to. Yeah.
I didn't feel like going to the WWE's website to find MSK, so I just looked up MSK merch.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I got the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
There you go. That's it. That's what MSK stands for. Did you not know that?
God damn it, Elizabeth. I mean, clearly it does. Oh. God damn it.
Then we had the Zoe Stark vignette. That was fine. We had the Santos and Regal promo. That was pretty good. Well, actually a little messy considering you couldn't hear anything Regal was saying. We had Raquel and Dakota backstage. This got me hyped with Io saying that she wants Raquel as her next challenger. Then we had the interview with Thatcher. I'm looking forward to this, where this is going to take us. I would really love to see Ciampa versus Walter, and then Thatcher turn on Ciampa prior next week. I'm excited. So it was a good promo day all around. I think my pick for this, is you know what? I'm gonna say Shotzi and Ember celebrating, leading into the Ways little promo where Austin gets mad.
Also, MSK does not seem to have new merch at this point.
I saw them promoting their merch online.
Maybe I'll check out online. I don't agree with you. I think I agree with me. In that I think that the first William Regal announcing both his special announcements, only for the sake that it meant a lot
Mm-hmm.
and it stood for a lot, and I have trouble putting Austin Theory over that.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Or anything else.
Also, I looked up MSK WWE merch, and the first thing that came up was a shirt.
Okay.
So, I'll go with you.
Let me try that again. Thank you.
The William Regals. That's how you spell Regals. Announcements.
That's the only shirt that I can see on their website.
What?
At this point. That's the only merch that I have found so far on their website.
Yeah. There might not be more.
Which, unfortunately, that color would not look good on Elizabeth, so. Bad news.
That's fair. But moving on to Wrestler of the Night. We started off with Io Shirai versus Toni Storm. I am going with Io Shirai. Io looked awesome. She looked badass. Toni was great too, but I think Io really stole the show in this match. Really fantastic stuff from her. She was high flying. She was mean. She was brutal. She was a little light at some points, but she still looked great. Then we had Jake Atlas versus Pete Dunne. Pete was fantastic, but I do want to give it to Jake for giving us a great performance and really showing off in a match that was really just showing off Pete. He looked fantastic. I mean, all of his moves are so cool looking. God, he's a really good high flyer, and I think he really showed it off in this match. We then had Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Raquel. What? I wrote Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Raquel Gonzalez. No. Versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart.
Oh, sweet.
I had a stroke writing this. I picked Shotzi, I guess.
People are calling them Team Black Moon. I kind of love that.
Ooh, Black Moon. It's cool.
Yeah. Does that sound nasty?
Yeah. Or Moonheart.
The world is your oyster.
Yeah. But yeah. I picked Shotzi. I don't know. I didn't think anyone was super impressive in this match. Shotzi looked pretty decent out of all of them. She has, I think, in my opinion, the better moveset and the more versatile of all of them. She can grapple. She can be a high flyer. She can really do it all. So that's why I picked her. Then we had Kayden Carter versus Xia Li. I picked Xia because Kayden didn't really do a whole lot. Then we had Legado versus Grizzled Young Veterans. I picked Joaquin Wild.
There he is.
I picked Joaquin. Joaquin looked great. There wasn't a lot done in this match, but Joaquin...
This is Mendoza slander.
I mean, look, out of the two of them, Wild did the most. He looked fantastic. I mean, in the little time that this match had, he was great. And then last but not least, we had Adam Cole, Bebe, versus Finn Balor. I picked Adam Cole. He looked great. I mean, Cole and Balor both looked kind of the same level of skill in the ring. But I think from a character perspective, Adam showed a little more because he had that interaction with Kyle. So he had the ability to kind of show off more character. Finn, though, had to kind of sell a broken jaw for like the entire match. Make that face all you want. That's not going to change my opinion. Your face alone.
Are you not remembering the the drop kick? You not remembering that now?
I remember the drop kick, but one move alone doesn't always change my opinion. I will cover your camera right now.
Oh. So high def.
It is not. That is anything but high def.
I can see all my pores.
Yep, very professional. All right, so yeah, I'm sticking with Adam Cole. Finn is a very close second. Out of the two in this match. Also last place. Yeah, I think Adam showed off his personality a lot more. He showed off his aggression. Yes, Finn did do that great drop kick and had to sell a broken jaw, but Adam Cole bringing back the steps, kind of doing a Bailey on us. I thought that was a nice thing to add in. And what's that move? Oh, Brainbuster. The Brainbuster on his knee. That was so good. I love Adam Cole's Brainbusters. It looks so brutal.
Yes, that was cool.
So, out of everyone, my pick for Wrestler of the Night is Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, man.
I know you don't agree, but Adam Cole, baby, is the one choice here.
No, you know what? I'll agree with you.
Really?
Only and only because of the way he sold a lot of shit, plus just for the post-match Kyle interaction.
That's fair.
Because if there's one thing Adam Cole can sell, being a spineless little fuck.
Yeah.
And he did a great job of that tonight.
Yeah.
Broke my heart a little bit, but
I love Adam Cole. He's such a good performer. So
he is, except for when he calls people chumps.
That was so weird. Like him and Roddy both like really like censor themselves. Kyle does not, as we saw today.
Like with Roddy, I can kind of understand it because Roddy has a kid, so maybe he's like kind of got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's used to maybe not swearing as much. Adam, like I don't know. Kyle was censored for like a solid 30 seconds tonight. And I was just like, what the fuck could you have possibly said? What could you have said?
I love how Adam Cole, he used to be the biggest heel in NXT, like literally the bad guy, and says stuff like chumps or freaking stupid, you freaking idiot. Oh my god.
Never forget. I remember when we thought he was having a face turn though, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, turns out
we thought he was having a face turn, and we were worried that Roddy and Bobby were going to split off. Then Bobby vanished. Roddy's a face now. Kyle's a face now.
Mm-hmm.
Adam's the dickhead.
Yeah.
Bring back Bobby Fish. Bring him back.
So does this mean Pat McAfee's a face now?
No. No.
Because now the whole thing is Pat was right. Adam Cole is a dick.
You can be right and still be a dickhead.
Yeah, but
To me. I'm right all the time.
But I mean, Pat McAfee's whole point about coming and facing Adam was just that Adam Cole was a dick. That was his whole thing. And I mean, he had good motivation, I guess. So match of the night now. I don't think there's any contest. We start off with Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, a really good match. That might have been a little underwhelming, in my opinion. I think starting with this match kind of hurt it. The finish seemed a little too soon. It didn't feel like a championship match. Is what I'm getting at. But still a pretty good performance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. If you compare that to like the championship matches that we got thus after. I say thus, like I'm a dickhead.
Thus.
Thereafter.
Then we had Jake Atlas versus Pete Dunne. Good match. Great showing from both of them. And a nice little bit afterwards, which leads us out of it. Just don't know why we got this match in the first place. That's really my only gripe. But then we had Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Raquel. Did it again. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon, Shotzi, Blackheart.
He's got Raquel on the mind, dude.
Love Raquel. Love her. This match was good. It was good. I think the ending was great. I think the individual performances were just alright, but the match itself was really good. The finish was definitely surprising. Like, I did not see Shotzi and Ember winning at all. Still, great match. Great ending. Really liked it. Then we had Kayden versus Xia.
Jesus age. Xia something worthwhile, please.
I'm gonna skip it. Then we had Legado.
Not asking for that much.
Yeah, apparently it is. Then we had Legado del Fantasma versus Grizzled young veterans, soon to be recognized.
Just like when you said puppets.
Puppets. You puppets. Puppet.
Get the sh.
Puppets. But this match was like nothing special. I mean, it was so short. But the appearance from MSK was great, and then the appearance from Breezango was great, and their little interaction at the end, beautiful, amazing. But the match itself was, it was all right. And then last but not least, we had Adam Cole, baby, versus Finn Balor. Fantastic match. This match was great. Oh my god, was this great. Amazing performances from both of them. And then great appearance from Kyle at the end to really tie this up together. Take Adam and Kyle, put them in their own direction. Put Finn in another championship spot against Karrion. Amazing. Beautiful. Perfect way to end the show. Fantastic main event. I loved everything about this. There wasn't a negative you could say about this match at all. That dropkick was fucking unbelievable. So with all that said, I think you know what my pick is. My pick for match of the night. Baby.
Xia Li, Kayden Carter.
Xia Li and Kayden. Xia Li and Kayden.
You could go like that, dude. Thumb up. Get the thumb up for like the top of the K.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's a K.
Baby.
K. And
why
X.
is this? This is.
Anyway.
Oh, see, I'm just.
Adam Cole versus Finn Balor is my. Yeah, there you. Sure. Like fucking Anna Jay and Ty Conti.
Honestly, say that again, but like when I'm doing something like pretty.
Yeah, Adam Cole versus Finn Balor. Match of the night. Amazing. Perfect. Wonderful. Takeover level match.
It's amazing and wonderful. This color is never gonna fade from my hair, I've decided.
Okay.
Anyways, I guess I agree.
You guess?
My soul says Raquel and Dakota versus Ember and Shotzi. I'm still not happy with that finish. Not happy with that finish whatsoever. I really don't love the concept that like they had the titles for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it had lasted just like a week. I gotta go with Cole and Finn because they had the opportunity to drop the title there and they didn't.
Yeah.
So I guess I agree with you.
So, to run it back, our promo of the night, William Regal's announcements, wrestler of the night, Adam Cole, baby. And match of the night, Adam Cole, baby, versus Finn Balor. Or post Pete Dunne, Finn Balor. Liz, would you
In a
like
picture.
would you like to close out the show?
I just want everyone to know that when I wash my hair now, it still turns the water pink. So, ever think of dyeing your hair red? Consider that. Bit of a problem. Alrighty, I should probably close the show out. I'm thinking of making new signs. Or more signs, rather. Not new signs.
Okay.
Crazy. Yeah. Just thinking on it. Considering it. When I made these, we were only like a couple months in, so I didn't want to get too crazy. I'm thinking of making a couple signs maybe for like predictions.
As soon as you say that, or as soon as you start on it, or actually after you finish them, something's gonna happen and the podcast is gonna end.
What, like we break up?
That, or like Twitch shuts down, or like we get banned.
I'll still find a way to podcast. Well, there's other venues, like other venues. There's other venues.
Or like my computer dies.
That's more likely.
It is at this point.
Or we are sunken into a new level of apocalypse.
So do you want to close out the show?
Explode. Okay, I guess. Like, thought we were having banter, Marcus. I thought we were having banter.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, nah. Anyways, yeah. So thank you for joining us tonight. If you did not join us tonight, just kidding. If you did not join us tonight, but you joined us in the future, thank you so much. Happy almost St. Patrick's Day. I just keep saying that because that's the next coming holiday. So, or happy Liz gets vaccinated day, or I don't know, one of those things. You pick it. So please tune in on Friday because we'll be back because we never fucking leave. We'll be back on Friday with SmackDown. That'll be an interesting show, I think, because Big E comes back and Buddy Murphy came back. So I don't really know why it'd be interesting, but it'll be interesting. We'll be here. I really have nothing for tonight, so if you could just... Sorry,
Thank you all for watching. If you all enjoyed, please follow, subscribe, all that stuff. And consider donating. It helps us continue the show along, helps us make additions, and, you know, supports us. And our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. In case you missed part of this episode or want to check out previous episodes, I'm getting to uploading the Raw episode. Please be patient because I've been so busy with work. I haven't been able to work on editing the podcast. But that will be up very soon. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the live show. We can talk to you live, etc., etc. And our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I am at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And thank you all for watching. Don't forget to check out the Universal Pokemon Federation as well. Combination of WWE and Pokemon. Really fun stuff. Definitely should check it out. And with that, thank you again for watching. We will see you on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Have a fantastic night.